Hey guys, welcome back to Sandy Healing. I hope you guys are doing well. Some of you have been asking for a video where I would explain how do you know that Reiki is working for you. So I have thought about a few points here and I'll share them with you. At the end of the video, if you want to stick around, we're also going to pull a card for the next Reiki session to see what insights we can get about that session that's coming up on Friday. So yeah, let's get started. So how do you know? How do you know that Reiki works for you? First and foremost, while you're doing your Reiki, while you're receiving Reiki, the first sign is definitely in your body. It's definitely part of your body. So you're gonna feel sensations. You can feel heat. One of the main sensation is heat. When you're giving Reiki, there's a lot of heat in your hands, and when you receive Reiki as well, you feel the heat, and the body heat is changing from one part to another. Another feeling that I was sensing as well is the tingling. This was the first sign for me. It could be different for you, but for me, it was the hand tingling. When I was receiving Reiki for the first time, it was actually distance Reiki. I felt that my hands were tingling, that my crown chakra was tingling. There's a lot of tingling sensation. So tingling, heat. There's another thing as well is I feel that a lot of us are maybe imprisoned in our bodies, especially when you're in the spiritual community. We feel that our body is a prison, or we feel that, in order to be spiritual or to feel spiritual, we have to transcend the body. And the body feels like heavy sometimes, and we all want to be more light, right? We want to be uplifted, we want to be more high vibe, and being in the body sometimes can be very 3D like, and very imprisoning almost. I'm thinking about the devil's energy for the tarot. The devil energy reminds us of our 3D life, of the fact that we are in this reality to embody a lot of the material things that we came. However, with Reiki, one of the feelings that you start feeling is that your body becomes your temple. You love your body. You start reconnecting with your sensuality, your sexuality. You start reconnecting with parts of your body you almost forgot about, depending on who you are here, of course. If you felt, I'm hearing, for example, from mothers, when you've been breastfeeding for years, sometimes you feel that you don't necessarily want to be touched. With Reiki, you can really reconnect with that part of yourself, of being again sensual, touching yourself. Your body becomes more part of you again. This devil energy. Another thing I was feeling is many people are also imprisoned by certain condition, diseases, chronic illnesses that are making them feel like they're imprisoned in their body, imprisoned because they can't really do much about them. They can't really heal or cure them. And this is something that helps a lot. Reiki has been shown to help many of the chronic illnesses, relieve the pain, relieve the nausea, relieve, depending on what you have, of course, relieve as well the sense of being stuck. Anxiety is a big thing here as well. I will put a link to an article below that tells you exactly the conditions, the specific conditions that Reiki touches on. There was a great article on that. I will put it below if you're interested. So yes, anything that has to do with this body being embodied here, that we sometimes don't want to think about, Reiki reminds you of it, but shows you it's almost like an intervention. If you guys have been feeling like you want to detach, it helps you reattach to your body, embody yourself again, be in your goddess energy, the feminine again, being in this, remembering the pleasure, the senses. I'm hearing tantric sex. Some of you could be also wanting to try a different type of sexual practices, and this has helped a lot. Something else the number two thing that I can talk about when it comes to Reiki is your worth, self-worth, self-confidence, self-love, all this emotional baggages that we've been pulling with us for many years, the heaviness of how we're perceived by others, anything that has to do with perception and boundaries, standards, what people accept from us, what people expect from us, all of that. The sense of self-worth, self-confidence, I feel this helps a lot in building that, especially if you're working on the heart chakra. There is a lot of research showing that Reiki helps a lot with anxiety, sense of being alone, sense of being I'm also hearing marginalized, some of us feel marginalized, feel alone, feel different, because we are all unique, but we're learning to love ourselves. We're learning to embody that and almost like integrate a new sense of self-worth, a new sense of self-love, a new sense of self-confidence. It helps a lot when it comes to your emotional healing, your inner child, your childhood wounds, things that you again could have carried with you for many years, even generations. I'm also hearing when you're feeling threatened by others. When it comes to social stuff, I've had a lot of social anxiety, especially after pandemic, and the Reiki has helped a lot relieve that. So that's the second thing here with Reiki. You'll know. All right, and number three, the third thing that I noticed is your environment, especially when it comes to your family and if you have children. If you interact with children or pets, Reiki, especially if you have Reiki, they will come your way. There's a sensation of always attracting others. People come your way. But also Reiki helps you kind of be more comfortable with yourself and your environment, especially when it comes to your family values, traditions, all of the heaviness of the rituals and obligations. What I'm sensing is when you receive Reiki, this is something that helps you heal all those traditional things that might have been keeping you stuck, the things that made you feel like, yeah, there is a structure, there is a way, there is a right way of doing things, and that's the only way. A lot of it is being deconstructed when you're receiving Reiki. There is a lot of healing around the crown chakra, around the beliefs that you've received from your families, the things that you truly want to keep, the things that are not meant for you, that are not the things that are needed right now. And especially if you're married, passing down the beliefs of your family to your children, it's time to really know what it is that you want to pass down and what is it that is to be discarded. There's a lot of healing around family wounds, ancestral wounds. You guys are going to be shown with Reiki. I've noticed there's a lot of nightmares, a lot of dreams as well when it comes to family and family wounds and let's say relationships that you've seen between your parents. A lot of those dreams, a lot of those insights are there to help you heal. And with Reiki, there's a lot of that showing up. So it might not show up right in the treatment. Sometimes it does, actually. Sometimes you may fall asleep and you might right away receive insights. But sometimes it comes a few days later or around the time you're receiving Reiki, those insights around your family values, traditions, conservative values specifically, especially if you're a wife, here, or if you're planning to be married and pass down those values and traditions. So I feel those three things are very much touched on by Reiki. At least from my personal experience and from what I've seen in the people I'm sending Reiki to. So let's pull a card and let's read something from our ancestors. Any messages from the ancestors when it comes to Reiki? As we talked about family, I feel it's really appropriate. And also, I want to have insights on the next session here. You guys, I hope you're not going to miss it. Any insights from our ancestors for Reiki? Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Right away I'm hearing stand up for yourself. It's a way to stand up for yourself. It's a way to protect yourself from negativity, people who might bring you down, and really learn to protect your energy. There's also a sense here, many of us might not even know about energy healing or energy protection before discovering Reiki. Some of us only discover that after. There's also make plans and focus. I forgot to show you that, which is really interesting. We're talking about the next session. So we're being called to make plans and focus on the energy that's going to be shared in the next session here. So what does it say? Shield the maiden. Have a plan or strategy in place before moving forward. The shield maiden brings a fiercely feminine energy, the power to be a warrior while retaining feminine sensitivity. She is ready to put her plan into action. She's ready to go into battle. Her medicine helps us move beyond any unsettled feelings when our plans start to take shape and follow through with our strategies in order to be where we want to be. You're being called to take some time to assess what your next steps will be. All great warriors have a plan. You are a sensitive being, and if you're not prepared for the task you're taking on, you could end up feeling exposed and helpless. The guidance from your ancestor that is coming to you now is a reminder that you have a warrior's heart and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused than you have been recently. So have a strategy in place and let your guides support you as you move forward. This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. So I'm going to have a strategy and a plan for the next Reiki session. I will tell you about it, and then let's just us be guided with the session. I also feel here our ancestors are telling us how Reiki helps us focus, how it helps us be more confident in our feminine energy and not taking for granted gender roles, right? We just saw the wife here. Any gender roles, anything that has been bestowed upon us because of the female body, because of our feminine. What is it to be feminine, really? You know, what is it to be feminine? Does it mean to be a wife necessarily? Not necessarily. You know, this is something that is being exposed. This is something that we are being shown, and it's helping us to focus. And again, I'm going back to this devil energy. The devil, right? We're talking about the body embodying the feminine, right? And the devil is very very lusty and very tempting as well. A lot of the religious practices, especially patriarchal practices, are always relating the feminine with lust and the feminine body with lust. And this is something that could have kept us in shame, in guilt, in a feeling of not feeling good enough, or even disconnecting with our feminine body, with our sense of sensuality, sexuality, because of those judgments imposed upon us, because of those judgments keeping us in a prison of our own making. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. If you liked it, let me know. I will make more of these things, and I love you. I hope you enjoy the next Reiki session. I'll see you on Friday.